Just do. Wait.
Oh.
All right, wait, here we go.
Just
All
said
right,
all
Marcelo's got the commands
Welcome.
today.
Hey, I know it's a little different this week. So if you guys saw the screen flash when we started streaming, that's because I didn't know what to do. This is usually the control guy. So.
Yeah.
Welcome. Episode number 5.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah. So today is we're gonna get straight into it. It's number 5, so it's an ode to Gary V. The title is gonna be Patience. We're gonna wing it. You know, we also have a surprise guest who I texted over. That's right. Thank you.
This is a learning experience. Everything's a learning experience.
Yeah, we also shifted the layout. If you guys couldn't tell, so here I am looking at the screen when I need to be looking up there. So I'm gonna we need to put like a photo or something.
I know. I was saying we should have a little smiley face up there, so we just know just to look at there. Like, put like a weird little audience.
We're just gonna put a big ass monkey. I got a big monkey poster.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get straight into it. And last minute, I had this thought to bring on a surprise guest. Just last minute, and somebody who's been at the forefront, providing some of the best news from Discord to the IG and any other channels. And I know he's getting into Twitter and Twitch, and he has a different schedule coming up. So. We're just gonna get to it. Jeremy, if you're watching, dial in, and we're gonna switch over the scene here.
Yeah, while we're switching,
take the mic.
Yeah, while we're switching, I'm just gonna plug Jeremy. Marcelo just told me a brief bit about him, but his Instagram is at wannabeavfriend. Just spelling it out, wanna WANNABEAVEE friend. And yeah, he's gonna talk to us a little bit about him and what he's done for the VFriend community. So while we set this up, which
we're just gonna give him a moment here.
I also need to remember to speak into the camera. So we set it up. If you watch episodes past, it was kind of filming from the side angle, and we thought that it would just be a lot more meaningful, and we'd be able to connect a little bit more if we're talking into the camera instead of kind of, always to the side talking to each other. So maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. If you like it, let us know in the comments. If not, then don't let us know in the No, I'm just kidding. Just let us know. But yeah, this whole episode is going to be about perspective. Whether that's perspective in your personal life, that's perspective in your business life. However you want to apply perspective, that's what we're going to talk about today. Also, I need to look into that camera. We really need we need a picture or something. So I look directly into that.
I'm just making sure we're live right now.
I'm pretty sure we're live.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're there.
We are. Yeah, we are. Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah. So we're
just make sure that the mic isn't that we're muted here. Yeah, we're muted.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're good. Perfect. Oh, nice. You see the two little angles here, so
All
we
right.
should see them
Bear with
momentarily.
us. It actually took us quite a while to figure out how to set everything up and to stream.
Yeah. If only you saw. We'll take a picture of what you see behind.
Yeah.
This.
It's kind of a mess.
Funny. It's really funny.
Because we realized we weren't going to be able to stream through the DSLR that we're using here. We actually had to stream the Hangout through a separate camera, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but we set up a GoPro over here because he doesn't have a built-in camera. So it's a bit jerry-rigged as everything has been so far. So it's on par. It's on theme. We're on theme here, at the very least.
Right. So for anybody who's watching, let's see.
Are you calling him right now?
Yeah, I sent him the text here.
Cool. I've got 2 viewers. Shout out you guys.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we work through these kinks and get our very first interview going. Woo!
So let's see here. I don't know. Usually it.
You just got to connect, right?
Yeah. So let's just get it started.
Yeah.
As far as let's hear from you. What's patience mean to you?
Oh, we are not talking about perspective. I read perspective. I literally introduced this whole episode when you handed it off to me. The 2 people watching in our audience can vouch for that. And when I looked at our whiteboard 5, for some reason, we're on 5. Last week was
funny?
perspective.
Look at the GoPro.
Yeah, you get like everything.
Yeah. Luckily, there's nothing too crazy up there.
Yeah, but sorry about that. We're talking about patience, and yes, what patience means to us. And if I've got to take the reins here, we're waiting for Jeremy to jump in. Patience for me, especially lately, like when I'm talking about art and jumping into the NFT space, because I've definitely taken a step back in my career over the last couple of years. I went through a lot of stuff kind of throughout the pandemic of like where I was living and settling back in several times. And so it's been kind of an uphill battle for me getting back to where I once was before the pandemic and sort of how I was feeling about my art. And for right now, part of me wants to just kind of throw myself completely back into the photography realm or back into the art realm or just kind of new spaces like the NFT space that we're going into, diving into more crypto, 3D art, doing all of that. But a part of me needs to, I guess it does relate to last week for perspective, need to step back and have a little bit of perspective on the situation. And I want to have patience in the way that I approach photography and approach the NFT space, and really be thoughtful and meaningful when I do it. I don't want to just kind of put out a project that's going to be all about me, that's kind of only going to monetarily benefit me. I want to create something that's going to help other people, other artists who may not have the platform that I'm really fortunate to have. So maybe patience for me right now is kind of waiting that out, figuring out my time and my place, because I don't want to do it. I think at the same time, I don't want to kind of just jump back in and be like, hey guys, I'm here. Like I've been off the face of the earth for the last couple of years, like 2 years since all this pandemic stuff has been going down. Can't believe it's been 2 years already. I don't kind of want to just pop back up on the scene and, expect to magically be selling NFTs, like hotcakes or anything. I've got to put in my time, and I've got to be patient. I've got to make those connections and really like kind of learn about this community before I jump right in. I don't want to just kind of be an outsider that comes in and is like, hey, I'm here, kind of shake things up and rattle the sort of established norms. Although sometimes that is a good idea. But I kind of want to be, careful not to step on any toes as I enter the space. So being patient and kind of picking the right time for me to launch my first NFT project is a big thing that is in my life right now. And I think patience as to where I'm going to take my photography is very big, with like Instagram and stuff. It's not the platform it once was. It no longer kind of benefits the photographer or visual artist in the way that it once did. And so I think I've got to really kind of figure that route again, whether it's even worth it. I don't know. I see a lot of artists these days, photographers, a lot of my peers switching to Twitter as a way to show their art. And it just kind of seems like the right way. How little Instagram seems to be valuing photographers and visual artists these days.
They had to adapt, right? I feel like with TikTok doing what they were doing, they released Reels. They were really trying to compete with TikTok and thus neglecting a lot of the OG audience and people who've been operating on the platforms for a while.
And it wasn't just that. It was with stories that they've kind of been taking from different platforms throughout the years.
They're owned by the same company.
But I think that in a way they've been diluting what they really stood for, I guess, in the beginning. And they've to incorporate all these different medias, or different forms of media and different platforms into themselves. They've sort of lost that original idea that was there to begin with. That was just sharing life kind of one image at a time. Yeah. So,
and man, I must say, like, props to you for taking that approach, for being patient. Because you could easily just rush into a project and release some old prints, make some quick money, and call it a day. But you're not taking that approach. You're really taking the time to dig deep and understand this technology, and how to properly build on top of it.
Yeah, and I think it's actually even a bit more finding my voice as an artist again too. I for a long time was very confident, in every image I took. I loved it. It was so good, and I always, I'll still to this day say you should be the biggest supporter of your work, whether you maybe deep down inside don't think it's your best work, you should support it no matter what. You should be proud of the work that you create, because you created it. You put art out there. But I think that I needed to sort of figure out whether the direction that I was going with photography was the correct direction for me. Whether this cycle of putting out an image a day, or it was like what was it, like fast food? I mean, version of photography. It was fast photography,
Kinda
fast
like you
media.
Like an assembly line.
Exactly.
Almost, right?
Yeah, and I'm just continuously pumping out work, which gives you likes and attention on social media. But is it really? What is it doing for my life? What am I gaining, like value-wise, from that, other than maybe monetary or, growing my audience, which is a good thing, right? You shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't be mad about growing my audience, but is it? As my art has evolved, does my need for that also evolve? Do I really need to continuously put out fast photography, fast media, rather than working on projects that really mean a lot to me and taking a month at a time or a year at a time to work on those projects? And I think that's where I'm at now, is trying to take a little bit longer and learn things as I go along, rather than just putting art out. How's
Sorry, that was tripping me out.
How are we?
It looked like we were back in time, but it was a delay.
How are we doing here? Are we getting him on?
Yeah. Technical difficulties, just like we had. So
there we go.
What's funny is we wanted to start this stream at 1 p.m. today, but then I had this last minute thought to do this interview style and bring on a surprise guest. And then we made this work, but it was a lot of tinkering with an OBS, and
it was. And then
we figured it out, and then realized, holy shit, he's not going to be able to hear us on the other end, or see us for that matter. So how are we going to be able to talk back and forth? So we had to jerry rig something fun. And, also switching up the whole view from last week, being this one's
side
way
view.
Better.
I like this. It's cool. Nice way to talk. I think the biggest thing for me is still talking to there. I've got to remember to look, when I'm talking to you guys.
So let's give it a go here.
All right.
So full disclosure, camera's wacky. So audio should be good.
You're going to have to sit in for him to see you too, with the GoPro.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Our very first interview.
Let's switch over the scene here. Hey, Jeremy.
Oh, you want a full screen?
Oh, we're already here.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
That's amazing. What's up? How's it going?
There we go.
What's up?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I can see myself in the corner here, but when I look at my video, it's like all wacky. I don't know what it looks like in Twitch. Oh, look, it's fine.
It looks good, right?
Yeah,
Good.
it's
Yeah.
Cool.
This is awesome. Man,
Cool.
Well, first of all, thank you. Welcome.
So maybe I should mute. Yeah, you're welcome. I think I'm going to mute
it's delayed
Twitch
a little
so
bit,
I'm
I
not hearing
think.
myself twice.
Yeah.
All right. Can I hear you through
Testing.
this now? Give it a second.
No, this is great. Hey, thanks for bearing with us.
No, I guess not. I'll just deal with it. Okay, I'm back. What's
Awesome. How you doing? Yeah, you're gonna notice two different angles, right, from Twitch versus this video call.
I'm good.
We had to improvise,
Yeah, I've got my screen here.
I love it.
I think it's a bit of a delay, so I think you're gonna have
It's
to wait a second.
also weird because I'm watching the delayed version.
Yeah. See. Yeah, I can tell from the reaction. So it's gonna have to be.
I hear the audio from Twitch, but I don't hear the audio from Google.
Are we muted in Google?
Yeah.
Do you want to check?
Are we
real quick?
muted in Google? Let's see. That could have been a thing here.
We're still figuring out this whole
Oh,
interview thing.
No?
Check if you are.
No, everything looks good there.
Everything. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah, it's where it needs to be.
Speakers. Do we want to try it? How about now?
Oh, I think I figured it out.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I got it. Give me just a sec.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna mute Twitch. Okay, say something.
Some
Testing.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I love
Real
it.
time.
Oh,
Amazing.
it's good to see you guys. What's
You
up?
as well.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining in on such last minute, man. That was really
Dude,
awesome
it's
to
my
catch you.
pleasure. You're the first person that's ever asked to interview me in this capacity, so I feel
Amazing. Let's go.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, hey, welcome. How's your day treating you so far?
It's been a good day. It's been a good day. Actually, it's been a great one. I worked Thursday through Sunday, so me and my partner, we did some cleaning in the morning. Then I had a painting job in the afternoon, and I just wrapped that up and came home.
Nice. Very nice. Cool.
Yeah, I do like odd jobs around the city as a TaskRabbit, so somebody needed me to paint their radiator cover, and I was like, yeah, okay, sure.
Oh, cool. I've used TaskRabbit before for hanging photos or actually helping me move one time.
Yeah,
Shout out
I do all that
TaskRabbit.
too.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really helpful. It's such a good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Marcelo told me a little bit about what you're about, but if you want to tell our audience, with the veefriends, you would consider me like, I mean, I've been in crypto since 2017, but when it comes to NFTs and most cryptos, I'm the noob here. Marcelo
and veefriends, he's aware of some of the characters because of me.
Yeah.
Being around me, but he's somebody from the outside kind of looking in. He doesn't own a token yet. I'm trying to convince him to acquire one. Because unfortunately, one of those 5 moral monkeys have nothing to do with him, So those go to everybody else. So. We'll let you take the floor. I don't know.
Just tell me a little bit about what Want to Be a veefriend's all about.
Yeah, well, I guess to tell you what Want to Be a veefriend is, I should tell you what veefriends is a bit, right?
Okay,
and, The truth is, I am a novice to crypto and NFTs and veefriends.
Yeah.
Like, I started investing in crypto December 31st of last year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, I had that friend who I was talking to him all through the quarantine, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm like getting into DeFi. It's really big. He's the same guy who like kind of forced me to buy like $150 of Bitcoin in 2017.
Yeah.
And I just forgot about it, Yeah, it turned into like, $1,200 at the peak. It was great.
I had that friend in 2017, I think we all had that friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it finally came back around. I was like, it's time. So I started doing like $10 a day into Bitcoin and Ethereum just to like get started. And I did that as long as I could.
And this was starting in December.
In December. So like December 31st to like through February for part of March. It's $20 a day in Bitcoin and Ethereum total. And so because of that, I had 1.5 Ethereum to invest in veefriends when it came around. But like I didn't know anything about NFTs. I had heard about it, listened to a couple podcasts. Conceptually, I understood, but like economically, totally over my head. I'm like, how is this even a thing? I hear about what's his name, Jack Dorsey selling his first tweet for $1 million. Like, I didn't understand. And to be honest, I still don't fully understand.
I think there's still so much more to understand and learn as the space grows too.
Yeah, and as you get into it, you're like, oh, this is a whole nother subsection. Like, learning about blockchain is one thing, then learning about gas is another, then learning about alternate blockchains and this and layer 2 and DeFi. It's like everything requires its own focus and study.
And then we got Wrapped.
And Wrapped ETH. Yeah, so it goes deep, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, to like make it a kind of short story, I had a friend who I turned on to Gary Vee, and it like kept him going through the pandemic. Like, I had been following Gary Vee for like 6 years, so I wasn't cold on him. I just wasn't checking him every day.
Yeah.
And then he hits me up and he's like, have you heard about his NFT project? I said, no, I haven't. We got interested. We thought it was going to be 3 ETH. And we pooled all our money together to try to get just one token.
Yeah.
So I was ready and waiting by 5/5 to like just make sure we could get one.
Yep.
And as you might know, like the launch got delayed, and on 5/5 a lot of information came out about what was actually going to be available, like 10,255 tokens and 268 characters and different access and VCon and all this stuff. And because I was following it and I was in the Discord, I just poured into that website. I don't know, I spent a couple hours just like scrolling through, and I immediately noticed that there's this sorcerer scholarship token that's no no purchase necessary, you apply. And considering that I assumed I was going to be priced out, basically, I was like, this is my best shot. I don't care if 10,000, 20,000 other people are applying. This is my best shot. And I've applied for jobs at VaynerMedia before, and they always ask for your social handles and like a sample piece of content. So when they said application, I just assumed it was going to be content based. And I said, you know, screw it, I'm going to get started. And I just had this idea of wanna be a VeeFriend, just kind of rolled off the tongue, made sense. And I originally thought, okay, I'll make a whole profile dedicated to me and like my experience and tell my story and make it dynamic and learn about, you know, go on Twitter and TikTok and like try to make like the best social resume, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I went to go, I was like, oh shit, nobody cares. Like that's not valuable to anyone except for myself trying to get this token. And I was like, I have to follow Gary's blueprint. And I just focused entirely on the community. Like I started going into the VeeFriends Instagram and answering people's questions. I basically read the frequently asked questions on the website once, and then just started regurgitating the answer to whoever was asking. And started posting like, you know, relatively shit content. Like, you know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't necessarily produced. It was a little thoughtful, but it was just like,
you were kind of just putting out content just to put it out at that point. You just needed to get some sort of traction.
100%. It was like, just throw it at the wall and see what sticks. And yeah, you know, after like a week, we had like 100 followers. There were actually some people like paying attention, and I was basically taking the news and making an Instagram post about it and posting stories and yeah, trying to help people as much as I can. And then there was like a really big turn when I started doing live videos. So I did a live, basically there was just too much information to write out. So I was like, I'll just do a live. And I have a background as a performer and as a street performer specifically. So like I'm comfortable in front of the camera. It's still a little weird, you know, like I also forget not to look at you and like
right now it's
right now we're looking at you, and we probably should be looking here. Actually, I was thinking
right, exactly. and you want to be able to like gauge reactions and stuff. It's like it's a different medium, but like even though I'm comfortable on a stage, I never truly learned the new magic of social media. Like I talk about it in old magic and new magic because I practice clown and I practice puppetry and I practice with masks, and that stuff goes back to like Greek era, Roman era, Italian Renaissance, and this new magic is so powerful. But the same thing that made theater powerful back then, like storytelling, you know, conflict, communication, like the universality of human experience, these things that made art so powerful is what makes the new magic powerful. You know, when you have people who are authentic and they're like actually providing value and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, so I started doing live videos, and I did like a daily, like, here's what's up, here's what came out in the Discord. There's so much coming through the Discord. I filtered for Gary's messages and started just sharing like what it was and adding a little context.
Yeah, I noticed that on your Instagram.
Yeah, and I call it the daily download. It's not every day, you know, because of life, but like now I'm in a flow where I don't even do the daily download live as I used to. I've started the last two. I record a daily download podcast and I let Instagram watch me, and they can ask me questions and I'll add them at the end of the podcast, which is like a really cool little like time saver that I'm really enjoying.
Interesting.
And yeah, like it was just very clear that like people liked daily updates from Discord, especially because at that time everything was time sensitive. It was like, when is the drop gonna happen? What are the prices? There were a lot of questions. And then the next unlock. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's thousands and thousands of people in the Discord all chatting at the same time too. So actually having some sort of filter for that information
Yeah, do you
is
have a
really
number on
valuable.
that? I think it was what, like 250,000 people, or was it
Really?
only 150,000 people
Close.
in the Discord?
There's over 150,000. And if you go in there at any time, there's like 10,000 people who are active.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty significant, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure it's easy to miss a lot too. So I guess if
Man, that general chat is like rolls so quick.
Especially when Gary comes in, it's just fire. Like people are trying to get his attention. And
Yeah.
then you have the people who are sitting in there all day just trying to continue their conversation within the mess. It's like, it's a lot. And yeah, so the next unlock was this woman named Bella. She saw one of my lives. She's like, I really like your energy. I want to go live with you. And so I said, you know, sure. At this point, I'm just like curating content. I'm like posting fan art. I'm doing these daily downloads, and like I'm just following the story. And there was like, I actually have a lot of gratitude for her because she came on the show before it was even a show. It was just like we were having a conversation, and she shared her whole like life story basically in like half an hour. She was like, right now I'm homeless. Like I got out of a really difficult abusive relationship, and I realized that that wasn't good for me. And so even though I had to be homeless, I like made the effort. I got out. Now I'm making it work, and I wanted to be friends so bad, but I couldn't afford it. And she partnered with a liquor brand to like sponsor her, and they bought her VeeFriend for her, so she's going to VCon.
Crazy.
And it was a crazy story and like super inspirational. And like, you know, when like it's just such an ephemeral thing to talk about when somebody is so in their truth, like they are just so passionate because you can see that they've struggled and they're like now on top of it, or at least they have the hope for the future, like that just ethereal power. She was doing that, and it was our biggest live yet. There were like 10 or 11 people on at the same time, and then people in the comments were like, I want to tell my story, let so and so up and tell their story. And that created a momentum, a carousel. I ended up, like, Instagram has a 1 hour limit. I ended up being live for 2 hours and talking to like 5 different people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does Instagram just cut you off at that point and you have to restart it, or what happens?
Yeah, they give you apparently there's a way to go longer, but I haven't figured it out. They give you like a 2-minute warning. And they just shut you down.
It's crazy. I've never actually used Instagram Live.
Really?
Never, not once.
Wow.
And I have a like almost 400,000 followers, and I've never hit that live button.
One of those old school.
Yeah,
I bet you if you went live just like to chat, your followers would love it.
It scares me, man. I don't know. There's something about like
pop it up and test
when
it
I'm
one of
on
these days,
Twitch
you
or
know?
when I'm on this kind of streaming, there's something a little bit less scary about it. And the second I opened up my Instagram, which has been something, you know, I've been cultivating since 2012. I don't know, maybe it's because it's like, I don't know, that's my baby. I'm scared that, you know, because of judgment, although I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
it's a feeling, you know?
Yeah. But I'm sure you'll get over that.
And you know what else? It's like, it's just part of the way that Western society is, and Eastern society in a lot of ways too, that people are really afraid to be seen. Like, it's not, like, yes, I'm sure you're like, I'm sure there is an element that it's your baby and you want to like be curated about it, but it's also like, it can feel very overwhelming to just be seen. And when somebody actually sees you, that's why it feels so intimate and special, because most of the time people are going through the world and they judge you before they see you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And honestly, that idea is part of why what is now called the community chat, that like interviewing and just hearing people's stories, it's why it landed, because, you know, it's kind of hard to make a connection digitally with someone you've never met. You know?
Oh, definitely.
The only context is like, we're following VeeFriends.
Yeah.
And yeah, so eventually I started doing that more and more. I was like, if somebody wants to come on, that would be great. Then this guy in the community was like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to schedule your guests. So like a week out from that, I don't even know who the guest is until the night of. And he's just like telling me, this so-and-so's ready to be on, whatever. It was going really great. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to, like, what is the infinitum version of this? Like, how do I make this sustainable and also something fun for me to chase after? And it was, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna talk to everyone. I'm gonna meet every single VeeFriend token holder, anybody interested in VeeFriends in this format. And that led me to start doing it every single night. And I did it every single night for like 3 weeks or something. Only this week was I like, hey, everybody, this was a really fun 6 weeks, but like now I have to like take care of other things in my life.
Yeah.
So I just switched to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it's been awesome, you know, just to meet people who are the people in the VeeFriends community. To take it back to VeeFriends, they are very generous. They're very kind.
Yeah.
And most of them have found Gary because they want to better themselves, you know, and they see tactics and they see somebody who's working hard to better himself. And so it's almost like whatever, you know, millions of followers Gary has, he's like kind of found the most interested in actually the work of what he's talking about, not just the hype, but the actual people who are like putting in the work.
Yeah.
And like giving them a shared space in the VeeFriends Discord. And so I'm just as want to be a VeeFriend, like I'm very lucky. Like now we have almost 1,200 followers. Like they very much like accepted me. Like people, like even though I'm a novice in cryptos, I'm a novice in NFTs.
Can I ask you something about your,
please.
you know, because for myself, I'm very much a novice, very, very much a novice, and someone who's entering the space, especially when I like get on Twitter and, you know, there's all these people, these big names who are really well established in crypto, in the NFT space. And it's a bit overwhelming, you know, to start replying to their threads on Twitter or to being engaged in the conversation. How did you first really kind of make that decision to reach out and really, really be actively engaged? And how did you do that? Like, what are some tips, I guess, I don't know, for being the new guy?
I have some tips. I actually do have some tips. It's funny because people are starting to ask me questions and look at me as a little bit of an expert.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily feel that way, but at some point you would just have to accept that your experience in and of itself is valuable.
Right, and you can speak on your experience, right? And
exactly.
That's factual. You're just being true to who you are and what your experience was.
So like tip number one, I would say, like, don't overthink it. Like you can say whatever you want to anyone at all on Twitter and they have no obligation to read it. Like just because you send it to them doesn't mean it's actually going to get to them. And if you're saying something that is thoughtful and nice, then you know it's not going to bother them. Gary's whole thing is like give, then ask. So I've only been focused on the jab, on the give. So you know, if somebody posted that they got a VeeFriend, I just like commented and said congratulations. You know, I think tip number two is like keep it simple. Like if I had something more thoughtful to say or like longer, I wouldn't overthink it. But for the most part, I was just like adding to the hype a little bit. I was like, wow, that's fantastic. Or like, I really like that character you got. Or, you know, I also started to talk about like the conviction that it takes to make an investment. Like with so many people making this investment in VeeFriends, it's easy to forget that like we're talking about 5 figures in US dollars and we're talking about real money, and that a lot of these people, like I spent my whole savings into this, and I originally bought my token for 1 ETH, so I had half an ETH left. I eventually got someone else a token with that half of an ETH because they like were in their waiting period, and I had a good feeling about this dude. I was like, I believe you're gonna pay me back. I'm gonna get you this floor token. It was all good. But then
I believe you'll pay me back. That's that's some faith. That's some faith right there.
It was. But like I talked to him for a couple hours, and like you know, I'm a trusting person. Yeah. So, but later on, I started to get FOMO. I was like, fuck, I don't have any token that I can flip. Can I curse on this show? Is that?
Yeah, man.
This guy.
No filter. Oh, you should see the first couple of episodes,
it's
man.
So funny. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Yeah, so like I wanted the hard pick, and there was one on OpenSea for 5.5, and I had 2.5 that I gunned out of my savings because I was trying to get an epic on the floor. Yeah, and these are what I'm saying are like different rarities.
Explain to me what an epic is. Is this like, I mean, is this a really rare one? Really rare or like kind of rare?
The second most rare.
Okay, got it.
So it goes.
It's a 1 of 2, right? I believe
1 of 2. Cores, there are 20 for each character, and like there are different I'll give you the whole breakdown. So there's admission tokens.
Yep.
All of the tokens give you admission to VCon, but they have different categories. So admission.
Yep.
Then there's gift, and then there's access.
Okay.
And the access tokens are like mostly 1 of 1s, some 1 of 8s, some 1 of 5s, but mostly 1 of 1s. And they're like, they were like, 50 to 10 each.
Is access to like access to Gary, like his time? You can have like conversations with him.
There's like the bowling boa, which is like you go bowling with like Gary, and you can bring like a bunch of friends. There's
that's pretty cool.
Right. There's a podcast panther where he'll be on your podcast once a year for 2 years.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's cool.
45 plus minutes, I believe. Like,
that's pretty.
A lot of FaceTime.
That's pretty incredible.
There's one called the Mentor Meeting Mongoose, where you get a two-hour mentor meeting with Gary. Then there's the Hangout Hawks. There's 125 Hangout Hawks, where it's everyone who holds the Hangout Hawk gets to go to a group Google Hangout. Yeah. And there's like 5 per year for 3 years, so it's a lot of time with Gary, but not one-on-one. Then there's Dinner Deers, where you get to have dinner with Gary 3 times over the course of 3 years. Wow,
so, he's got to schedule his time accordingly over the next 2 years for these.
The number of assistants or scheduling assistants that Gary has, I could only imagine.
He needs it. Yeah. Well, but it's also really smart because it gives him a lot of business expenses. Because like he's gonna have a lot of expenses for VCon. Like even though he's got huge revenue and he's getting 10% of every sale that's come through. Like aftermarket sales have been like 5. I think they just passed 5 million yesterday. So that's what?
It's been on fire. It's been on fire.
Am I right? That's $500,000 that went to
him?
Yeah,
10%.
Yeah. And it's so like we're only like a month in, 30, 40 days, if that. It's
yeah.
And the prices are only going up right now. Like I'm expecting the prices to come down soon, but like, who knows? Yeah. Like the market that is buying these tokens in the secondary market is not the people in the Discord. There are people who are in the NFT space. There are people who are early investors. There are people who like didn't know it was going on. They don't mind paying more. So getting back to the rarities, the admission tokens have different rarities, and there's 20 core at the bottom. There's 8 rare, 5 very rare, 2 epic, and then there are 5 1 of 1s that are spectacular, and they have different like finishes. So there's gold, lava, diamond, hologram, and bubblegum, and each character has 1 of each of those. So I was trying to get an epic because I couldn't afford, and ultimately the one I was going for, it got bought up like the same day I got ETH in my wallet.
Damn.
I was devastated.
Damn, that's a bummer.
And then I had this ETH and I was like, well, just because I have it doesn't mean I should spend it. But also, like, I really believe in this project. And by this point, I think I've hit 1,000 followers, and I'm like in the world. Like, if I'm gonna give so much time to this, I feel like I should have more than 1 token, right?
Yep.
And then I was also considering getting a Bored Ape for a second. I was like, what do I do with this? And then this hard pick showed up for 5.5 ETH. So I liquidated my Cardano assets, I had my friend loan me like 2 ETH, I think, almost 2 ETH. But he's like my best friend. Marcelo knows Alex. So like, it's like a lifelong loan, but like, regardless, I like put in my savings to get that second token. Yeah. And to bring it back, I was just part of the value that I was offering early on was the solidarity of like, even if we believe in this so much, it's still a big risk. It's still an investment, and every investment involves that kind of risk. And congratulations to you for having the conviction to believe in what you see, because it's the same thing for people. I mean, it's not the same, but it's similar to people seeing Bitcoin early on and being like, I don't care if it's $1. It makes sense to me. I'm going for it, and hodling.
Yeah. Especially if you really believe in the space. Definitely.
Exactly. And if you really believe in Gary, right? Because right now these prices are soaring, but nothing's happened. Like there's nothing maintaining these prices. It's all hype, and hype and Gary's reputation, which is a big deal. But like, we're a long way from the project really being a success.
Yeah. I mean, the project doesn't even like culminate, you won't even see actually its full efforts for at least a year, right?
Well,
a
well,
couple years, 2 years.
VCon, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like after the first VCon is when Gary will be like, okay, we started.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's man, I'm just curious to see where this first location is. Do we have any guesses, like based off of your knowledge? I originally thought Toronto or something, but it makes more sense that it would be in the United States for the first one.
He said that Canada is in play for year 2. That it's like a very possible year 2. I think the top 2 in my mind are Austin, Texas, and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because for a few reasons, the demographic and the culture, like those cities can handle a big conference like this. Like Austin is where South by Southwest is, which is kind of going to be a model. Las Vegas is used to like a huge number of tourists, and they need the revenue. But at the same time, I could see him throwing it like somewhere in New Jersey and just like blowing up the New Jersey economy and giving back to his hometown that way.
That'd be wild.
But the other reason Austin is cool is because it's in the middle of the country. So everybody on the coast sort of meets in the middle. And there's a lot of people from California who are big in crypto, big influencers, just big personalities like Matthew McConaughey and Joe Rogan and so many others that have recently moved to Texas. So it's easier for them. I think that's likely going to be it. But I know for sure it's not New York, and I know for sure it's in the United States for year 1.
Cool.
I like that thought, and because I think I've seen this on your channel. Gary has compared this VCon to South by Southwest in the sense that he's going to blow South by Southwest out of the water. So how much more fitting would it be to be at the same location but have an even more yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I don't know, that Austin, Texas is sounding better and better.
Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Gary, he likes to rise like a phoenix, man. He'll come at you full force. So I don't know.
I'm taking a picture of us because I've never been on Twitch before.
Oh, really? Let's go.
Hey, man, he convinced me, when I showed him, because I talked to him before I even showed him a white paper for this project we're working on, that by now the audience, the few viewers we have know exactly kind of what the product's about.
Yeah, but we've been speaking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Subtle hints here and there. As cryptic as Marcelo can be.
And I try, sometimes I go off on rants and... But after I showed him the white paper, I kind of showed him these arms that I already had. I already had planned on starting my own podcast for something else, a whole nother side project.
Yeah, he had a podcast set up,
and then he brings the tripod, the light, the really nice.
I'm a photographer, so I already had the camera and the lights and everything. So I was like, well, why don't we just combine the two and start, streaming it, going live with video? It's like, why not?
You might as well double. Are you guys posting this as a podcast too?
We will eventually. We have not yet. Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
That's why I started
that is
doing,
the goal.
the simultaneous thing, because and that's also why I'm switching to Twitch, is because it's so hard to save live videos on Instagram. And Twitch, we should talk, because there's Corso in the Discord. He gave me a rundown of Twitch, and there's amazing things you could do.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Competitions with the chat and
there's tons of stuff that you can have. Once we actually have another screen where we can run OBS a bit bigger, we have separate screens for everything. We'll actually have the streamer deck where we can switch between scenes and different sound bites and stuff. That's eventually the goal. But because I've actually streamed video games in the past, and I love having that where my whole chat's playing games. They're betting, or we'll do a roll off, and you get points for
this is
for
all
participating.
foreign to me. I feel like we should definitely collaborate.
Oh yeah, there's so much you can do.
We can improve each other's shows for sure.
I would love that.
There's so many different ways to engage with your audience, rather than I think on Instagram Live it's just kind of talking back and forth.
A little chat thing here, right?
There's different things you can have, and different moderators that can also help to assist people if they have any questions and things like that. Commands.
Yeah, talking about crypto having its own rabbit holes where you have to spend so much time researching. Twitch is its own thing, and there's other resources. I'll get my notebook. I'll text it to you. Of course, it was like different websites that they overlay with Twitch, and they just add a lot of functionality.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
we were going to use YouTube, but then when we created the channel,
they had a
YouTube doesn't let
timer
you. Yeah, they won't let you stream for 24 hours after you create your account. So Twitch was open. We were like, well, I guess we'll just do Twitch.
Yeah. And you can always just multi-stream.
Yeah, we might stream to both of them too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no post-production. So once this file's done, we just take that, upload it to YouTube, and post it, shortly after this stream ends.
Just kind of get it up and out. Like that's what our thinking was, at least just start. At the very least, start the conversation, get involved, and just kind of see where it goes from here, That's
cool.
Well,
I have to be out at 9. I'd love to hear I'd love to hear the secret. Like, what's up with you guys? Like, I feel like I'm on the ground floor of something massive.
I hope so. I mean,
when Marcelo approached me, honestly, my heart started racing. It's a huge idea. It's undertaking,
and it's so simple.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
honestly,
the resources are readily available for anybody out here, anybody watching.
It's such a great idea. Anyone, like, if they execute it, implement it into their ideas or NFTs, like the utility that it brings to tokens, rather than just sheer monetary gain. Selling NFTs, the utility is. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it kind of just shows the power that whoever's creating a project moving forward can do more than just post a JPEG, make a sale, make some money, and make some commission on that. On those resales, right? There's more to it if you're willing to put in the work. Because don't get me wrong, like this idea didn't just form out of thin air. It formed from the act of loaning out these 5 moral monkeys, the 5x5 moral monkey mob. I've decided to kind of launch those two hand in hand because on the white paper I mention Moral Monkey Mob and how it kind of inspired this idea. So I figured how much more fitting would it be than to just 7-7 everything, 7-7, all those details, the nitty gritty, the landing pages that I've been working on. So off camera, I definitely want I'm going to show you this white paper before I show it to the public. Okay, so that's a promise I do have, because I not only want your opinion, but I want to see your reaction. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but this is probably a conversation for off air, but I'm going to ask anyway. Like doing like one of those reaction videos and sending it to just a core 10 people and then loop it.
We should do a private stream. We can react live to it, but if you want to like hold off for a while, we can stream and record it, but we'll just do it privately. And then when you're ready, we can use it as content.
Yeah. Cool. Because man, the two, I've only showed it to 2 people, full transparency. Technically 3, but my sister's not in the space, right? She was more of verbiage overview. She's been that overseer since.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's the outside perspective.
My camera might have died.
Go turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay, with technical difficulties, the camera just died, but we should be good on audio, right?
Yep. It's okay. Yep. I'll entertain the people.
I know, right?
How many folks are here?
Let's go take a
What's
look.
We got
oh,
2
that's
listeners.
so funny. Oh,
welcome to the
you're awesome for that one,
man. Channel here on
He's
Twitch,
taking over for us
live every single week at an undetermined time because we do it when we want. I don't know.
I love it. Right, we're just starting.
We're just getting started. But like these sorts of documentaries are.
Let's go.
Nice. Look, you figure that out in like 60
Go back
seconds
to OBS.
flat.
Just go to OBS. We'll see it there.
Right? It's
yeah, we're back.
Okay. I love it. We're good. I had to refresh the page there, and that was quick with it. It's nice having 2 people too.
Yeah, we can step out of front.
Around,
Yeah, especially because it was crazy. All right.
So
Jeremy,
wait. I know we're on a time crunch here.
He's got to
go. So I'm sure we'll be talking. Did your scheduler let you know that I think we're talking Thursday? If I'm not mistaken, was that a secret or was that?
I don't do Thursdays anymore.
Okay, so
do Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I'll message that. So this account messages me like wanting to interview me, and I'm thinking to myself, I haven't looked at this person's content. Like, I was like, yeah, sure, next week. Let me kind of look into your content first. And then after I said next week, he's like, oh no, I'm just organizing things for Jeremy. I'm like, that's funny. Right. So I didn't have to do any research. I didn't have to look into that because I thought he had like his own show that I was unaware of. So I'm sure we'll reschedule then if there's nothing Thursday.
So his name is Cam. He runs a page called veefriends Family Tree.
Shout out Cam.
Shout out Cam. He's a really good dude. Like, honestly, he is like, and I didn't give him any notice. I just went live one day and I was like, if I don't slow down, I'm not gonna be able to keep this up. So I told everybody, I was like, look, this is just where I'm at. Like, I'm only one person and I need some evenings to spend with my family, so I'm gonna make a shift. And then I sent him a message afterward. He's like, it's all good, dude. I've already started rescheduling for you, and we're basically booked out for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, let's fucking go. Like he's a good dude. I've talked to him on the phone a couple times, and like his son just graduated high school, and he's just having fun in this space. And yeah, I'm really thankful for him on like a whole nother level. Like he doesn't know me. He just like saw my content, was like, this kid's got something, you know? And now he's like, I talk to him every day. He's like, he's getting me bios for people before they come in, so I get to like brush up a bit.
That's great.
It's like, it's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing. And like, he's in it for the long haul. Like, he hopes that like this keeps going. I get on the Gary Vee team. I get the scholarship. You know, actually just today, breaking news, it's not like confirmed yet, but in the VeeFriends Discord, they have moderators, and you have to apply to be a moderator. It's a volunteer position, like 8 hours a week, answering people's questions, just like moderating the Discord.
Yep.
But Zane, who's the head of the Discord and on Gary Vee's left hand, reached out to me this morning and asked me if I wanted to be a mod.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
I said,
put in the work.
I was like, yeah, you can put me on.
You're like, I'm there anyways. Come on, let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
That's really cool, man.
I don't know why that popped into my head, but like, because of Cam, like, you know, it's one step closer to like the eventual. Whether I get the sorcerer is kind of a moonshot, you know, but because I'm already winning. Like, the fact that you've asked me to do this interview, like, it's cool, you know. Marcelo and I had a 2-hour conversation last week. Like, I feel like I really got to know him, and I can't wait to go deeper. Like, I can see he's got a good heart, you know. I'm meeting people every single day through the VeeFriends community that like, they're just good people, you know, and like it can go anywhere from here. So like, if I can pull off the goal, then, you know, I'll be so happy. But in the meantime, like, being a mod, making a bigger impact, you know, sort of elevating my profile in a way, it's a win-win-win situation.
That's awesome.
Putting in
Great
that work, man. Well deserved, you know. Yeah. He grew from, I remember I was on a road trip actually visiting, so my goddaughter, I know we're on 3 minutes here? Yeah. My goddaughters are his, he's the uncle, right? So my best friend, this is his older brother. So I was on a road trip kind of going through Arizona when I think it was, I forget who linked us. It was, maybe it was Bella. Bella was like, hey, you and this this account should connect. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, and that was right when I posted something, you know, the idea, the act of giving. I hadn't really done much digitally past, here's an idea and I want to roll with it. And I know I'm a procrastinator who plans too much. So I was like, I'm going to make it public, so I'm forced to do it, you know. So I'm glad we connected, and I've seen you grow so fucking quick, man. So it's well deserved. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, and, appreciate you having you on, man.
And I guess I want to ask one question, since this is a topic about patience. Number 5,
outgoing thoughts.
In ode to Gary Vee, outgoing thoughts. What does patience mean to you in your life at this moment? The word patience, when you hear it, what comes to mind?
That's a good question.
And why?
That's a good question. I'll tell you the answer.
I knew you'd have the answer.
Patience, to me, is accepting where you are in your life.
That's good.
It.
There you go.
Know, it's like to elaborate so as to not feel like I've got this ego, like I have the answer. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is, like, it's as simple as acceptance. Because if you can accept your successes and your failures, and truly recognize in like a cosmic way that every single choice you've ever made, every single word you've ever said, every single like train delay and like traffic jam has led you to this exact moment, that has led, you know, to this moment where I'm at my desk and you guys are in LA and like we're here, then, and you can accept, you know, the good and the bad that equated to this moment, then you can start to put in perspective how much time you actually have, and do the Gary Vee thing of like macro patience and micro speed, and like don't take any day for granted, but know that if you have 10 things on your to-do list and you can just do one, that's better than 0.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Exactly.
Nice.
I love it. No, that's great, man. Well said. I really appreciate that. Now, would you like us? I know you're on a cutoff here, so you might have to watch the recording to hear our explanations. So
I will.
yeah. So
Jeremy, also plug any social media or anything.
Yeah. Plug. Now's the
where
time,
people can
and
find
we'll make
you
sure
and,
to put you in the bio as well.
Yeah.
My tag is wanna be a V friend. So WANNABEEAVEEFREND. Wanna be.
There you go. Boom.
It's on Instagram. I'm on Twitter too at wanna be a VF, because they have a character limit.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm also wanna be a VFriend at Gmail. I've gone so all in on the wanna be a VFriend thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna legally change my name.
Hey, you got a cool logo too that somebody designed for you there
I'm
too,
so
man.
hyped
With
on
the
the
top
logo.
hat on there, man. I'll show it. I don't think I showed it to
cool.
him, but it's rad, man. Oh no, if you've seen the Instagram, you've seen it.
Yeah. Briefly.
Yeah. If I knew how to use Google Meet better, I'd be like, yeah, check it out. Oh, I can change my background. You're like, I'll show it to you really quick. Can I just
Green screen it so that
I was
it's
about
your,
to say,
your
I'm
lo-
sure we'll be testing here much more.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have it on my computer. Oh no, this is the old one. Well, I can show you my podcast. This is the top hat you're talking about.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Hey,
It's
nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You should have had that the whole time.
Wait,
that should have
that's-
been your background
That's
the
built
whole
into
time.
Google Meet. See, these are the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
we
go
should've done that.
down to the little 3 buttons and hit change background, you can add a picture.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
So,
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
and I've
what's
been
up.
using this for how many years?
Yeah.
Is what it
Oh
is.
man.
Well, I gotta hop off. I'm gonna
Yep.
do an interview with Adam. What Adam said. But,
Cool.
Awesome.
This has been fun, man. We should do
Yeah.
it again.
Yes,
Most
thank you for
definitely.
your time, Jeremy. We really appreciate it again.
Yeah. Thank you for your
Appreciate
time
you
and
guys.
have a good rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Later,
Peace
man.
out.
Later, man.
Just go to video media.
And is that as simple as that? That was our first interview. First interview.
That's our first interview.
Shout out to
tonight.
Jeremy one more
Yeah,
time.
Shout out to Jeremy. That was really cool.
If you don't already, go follow him. Even if you don't have a V friend, it's somebody you're
I don't
gonna
even have a V
not
friend, and I'm
regret
excited about
following,
this.
You know, yeah, right.
It's actually,
he's gonna buy one here.
It's really cool to follow along and just to see the utility that he's built into his tokens. That's the biggest thing for me, I think, is that he knows his following, he knows his audience, and he has created a way for them to engage him through his NFTs. Like, it's genius. It's honestly like so smart, and I really like that about his NFT release, his tokenomics. What are you doing over there?
You know,
That doesn't even matter anymore. We're done.
Oh.
This guy.
This way.
This guy making beeping noises, shutting things
I
down.
know. I feel like
Wait, did you close OBS?
No. It was still open. It was
Oh.
open the whole time.
We gotta sign out. We're still live.
I know, right? So let's close it out because Jeremy told us what patience means.
Yeah,
to
that was a
him.
great ending.
And I'm gonna roll off with it because it reminded me of a phrase, and I'm trying to remember. I think I'm gonna credit Deepak Chopra again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything's as it should be. Now I know that sounds So I
Talk
know
to
that sounds.
our
we
boys,
Need, we need to
our
fix
girls,
that.
our audience.
No. We must have been looking all over the place there. So everything's as it should be.
Ladies
Is just
and
a
gentlemen.
reminder that no matter where you are in life, no matter what you want, no matter what you aspire to be, as long as you're okay with where you are and the lessons you've learned, you have the ultimate leverage and advantage over other people because you're not impatient to what you know is coming your way or what you know you deserve. You see my point? Like you're not worried about overthinking, right?
Yeah.
The short term,
No.
right? You're executing and you have faith in the long term in a way, right?
Yeah.
With that saying, it kind of the saying can go a lot of ways, but that's what it means to me. And
I think having
that's
patience with
that.
yourself is huge.
Mhm.
It's important because if you you take everything, especially these days with the bombardment of social media, everything's coming at us like lightning speed. Opinions and especially as artists, we post things and or we share art and maybe we don't think that we're at the right level, or we're not at the level that our peers are at, and we want to be there so fast, but being patient and knowing that if you put in the work that you'll eventually get there. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I like that. That was well said.
Cool. So should we send it off on that?
So let's talk about, this is an ode to Gary Vee.
Oh, we're talking more.
Let's talk just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I just wanted to recap on that because, Gary has, he's, I don't want to say single-handedly changed my life, right? Because at the end of the day, it's action on my end. Mm-hmm. But, he's like, you imagine those little devil angels things in your shoulder, from the cartoons, right? Yeah. And I'm not referencing those two, right? I'm just kind of imagine Gary just popping up, right?
But you could have him on both sides.
Just fucking crawling around on your shoulder. I know, right? You can you can have an empathetic Gary and a patient Gary, and a fuck you Mole Monday Gary. I don't know. You can mix it up.
3 different Garys.
After consuming his content, I think I first came home from college, came across some of his older stuff when he just looked like a baby compared to now, right? But it didn't really resonate to me. I honestly thought he was on Adderall or just did a little too much cocaine on the side or something,
He was wilding out.
So I was like, 2 years later, though, like, kind of his content, I don't know. I forget which video it was, to be honest, but I was like, damn, that is accurate. And I think that was right around the time in my life where my ego was really taking a back seat to just being a better person. Yeah. I didn't really care too much as much about the opinions of others, right? So fast forward like 3 or 4 years of just following his daily V and watching, I can't remember if it was 500 or 1,000 episodes. There's a lot of fucking episodes of that thing, and then kind of broke it off and started doing different things, and then obviously got busy. But I stopped following his content, I want to say 2019. Like, I didn't unfollow him, right? But
you just weren't as engaged.
I wasn't as religious with in the sense of like going to church every week. I wasn't as religious with watching his content every day like I was before. Because I had heard enough. I knew what I needed to hear, and I wasn't ready to execute on it. And only until this year was I ready to execute on just pursuing a passion. I didn't want to have to struggle for a year, but now I'm willing to struggle. I don't mind going back to living off of nothing, and living like a broke college kid. I know that's not going to happen, but just Gary, thank you. I appreciate you. This podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you. Straight the fuck up.
There you go.
Like, I'm looking at the wrong goddamn camera. Yeah. See? Hey.
It's hard. We're gonna
welcome to BitmonkeyTV. Like, we need to move this for the interviews up here. Maybe like put them in a line.
Eventually we'll get there.
We'll work in progress.
I'm proud of where I'm proud of where we've come.
This name. I know. Me too. We'll be posting some photos behind the scenes after we go sign off here. But I'd like to hear, since this is an ode to Gary Vee in a way, right? When's the first time you've heard that name? And when you heard that name, what? I just would love to hear, because when
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask this question.
I know, but it's actually
you are a very devout Gary Vee follower and friend.
Don't say it like that. You make it sound like a cult or something.
Well, I mean, when you talk about it religiously, it's pretty easy when you talk about it religiously. But no. I've heard about Gary Vee. I mean, a while ago now. I haven't been in tune like you have. I've always known him as this sort of, the loudmouth swearing guy.
Right? Yep. I wanted you to say that for everybody here. Like, he thought what I thought when I first, and we all think this. I feel like if we were to time lapse a video of everybody saying the same thing, like when I first came across his content, I thought he was on crack or something along those lines.
He's just a loud dude.
It'd probably be an endless loop.
Yeah, he's vulgar when he expresses his opinions, which I can appreciate. I swear all the time. I think I try to hold off a little bit here, but I think that I didn't really have
to hold off a little bit more, to be honest.
I didn't have a big understanding, but once we started talking and I started hearing about veefriends more, I really like his ideas as it relates to NFTs and stuff like that. I haven't really gone off the deep board and his other views on life, but from the way he handles NFTs and the way he's thought about it, it's really thoughtful compared to a lot of things that are going on right now. So I really appreciate that at the very least. To anybody who's a big Gary Vee fan out there, I really cannot knock that hustle. It's amazing what he's done and how he's given back to his community. I think it's really sick.
Yep. Clouds and dirt.
Clouds and dirt. Don't know what it means, but clouds and dirt. Let's go.
You're gonna learn. You Google that after we sign off here. I'm not even gonna tell you. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
Send it off.
We've taken up enough of your time.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in, and if you're watching the recording, thanks for tuning in.
BitmonkeyTV.
Curious to see where we are. Thank you. Have a great day, and we're signing off.
Yay. See ya. End it.
I know I'm ending it with the